¿Empieza? Muy buenas tardes, and I think in English now is good evening, no? I always make the good afternoon, good evening. Good evening to all of you. Dr. Short, that he will be, let's say, the co-chair and the housekeeper in my house, but he will be the housekeeper as the senior trustee and an old friend of this house in this ceremony. Dear Simon, it's a pleasure always to see you here. The sponsors, trustees, and of course guests, and of course all the people that are watching us. I think our president of the British Spanish Society, Jimmy, is in Madrid, and there has been a connection in streaming for all the members of the British Spanish Society, for the friends, for the families of the awardees. So I don't know exactly how many people they are watching us. And I have to start to say that a big thanks to our team, the technical team that the British Spanish Society and the Cultural and Scientific Office, because you know, this event only 48 hours ago, it was not obvious that we were going to do it, no? And it has, because it's not easy. It's not easy to maintain working programs, agendas, etc., with the present situation where we live, and that we have the duty and the responsibility to abide with all the precautionary norms, no? And this is why this is a strange meeting from the outbreak. It's the first time that I see the masked faces in this brilliant salon. No? And but I think it was important to maintain, because we are in a new normality, and one of the things is to maintain a certain activity. No? And for the embassy and for the British Spanish Society, this event is a major thing of our respective activities. No? It's scientific diplomacy. I think it was one of the British Spanish Society discovered that 100 years ago. But now we are putting that in practice in the most noble way with the program of awards. No? So we have decided to make this what we call the hybrid model, with a very limited presence of people, but at the same time using what apparently is called Zoom diplomacy. No? So I hope this model is going to work well. And again, many, many thanks to the people that have made possible that we have this event. At the end, we will have a reception. Again, it will be a new thing with a rule of 6, of course. Thanks God we have the largest dining room in London, so we are in better condition than many pubs. No? So I think we can feel safe from this point of view as well. Well, on the event that we have today, as you know very well, is the 13th time. Even 13th is bad luck. I think this is a good number. It's good luck, because it's been a record edition, record in the number of scholarship, I would say record in quality as well for the awardees, and as well another thing that I pointed every year, which is that we have 4 new sponsors. And in these new 4 sponsors, something that I think is the first time that we have parity between Spaniards and British, which is one thing that I wanted and strive for, to have more British companies sponsoring this event. And precisely they have done that in difficult moments, but because we know very well that during these straining times from a financial point of view, the companies, the first thing they tend to do is cost cutting, is this sort of things. No? So I now am speaking for the sponsors. I think you are doing a very good thing, because after the COVID, and even now we have to start already to work about the recovery. And the recovery without science and without culture is not going to be a recovery. So thanks very much to the sponsor, and I encourage you very much to continue to do this and to support this wonderful program. The third remark, guess what I'm going to speak about, the B word, Brexit. Because, you know, it's going this year as well and I think we have to be conscious. Sometimes now they say Brexit is not done. Well, this is not true. Brexit is done. It's done, and it's going to take place the 1st of January. It can be a disorderly Brexit or a more rational, and this is, of course, our option. Obviously, our option is possible, and we do work in order to have this option. But in any case, Brexit is going to happen, and it's going in a natural way, and we know that from some time, and it's going to affect issues that are related to the person of this program, because it's going to affect movement of persons, it's going to affect common programs on science and culture that we've been down until now, it's going to affect recognition of qualifications, etc., etc. And I think in this context, again, institutions like the British Spanish Society, and especially this type of programs, are absolutely fundamental. So our common duty is is to reinforce, and that the next year, even with this new context, that to have this program reinforced. So it's an appeal to everybody and a recognition of the work that the British Spanish Society is doing. And the last remark, there are my introductory words. So is that I'm saying goodbye, because as I told Simon, I am like yogurts. I have a date of caducity, and in weeks I will reach the very venerable age of 70 years old, which according to the civil service law in Spain, we retire. And of course, this is a good thing, to jubilee, but there are other sad things, and one of the sad things is that I'm saying goodbye to my very good friends of the British Spanish Society, but now I'm not going to be an ambassador, but I will be a member and a friend of the British Society wherever I will be. Like I will follow the very good example of my good friend, the ex-ambassador, brilliant ex-ambassador in Madrid, Simon, and that now is one of the most important trustees of this. So you can count on me. And of course, I have to finish by the most important thing, which is to congratulate all the awardees, because this is, at the end of the day, what we are doing here. Congratulations again that you have joined this wonderful family of the scholarships of the British Spanish Society. I don't know exactly in these ideas, but it must be already more than 100, this family. I'm sure this is going to help you very much in your personal careers, because this is a very prestigious award, but as well, I'm sure you are going to contribute being active members of the British Spanish Society. And with that, Mike, you will lead us, and technology has not failed? It's going well? Wonderful. Well done. Because now we go for the more difficult, we have to interact between the presence and the virtual, but we are starting extremely well. Mike, the word is yours. Thank you very much.
So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency and Ambassador Basterretxea. Thank you very much for having us here again under these difficult circumstances. Your staff have been fantastic. Please convey our utmost thanks to all that they've done to make sure that this could proceed. With all the effort that's been done by the British Spanish Society team in helping to get the entries in, the judging of the entries, and even for those of you who can be here today, I'd also like to thank some of the staff involved with the British Spanish Society. I can't name you all because I think time is pressing, but I'd also like to just thank the whole organisation has worked really well despite the difficulties of COVID. I'd like to think that these are the first digital scholarship awards. It's not usual for us to have either a hybrid version or a Zoom version with some people coming in. So I do hope the technology works well for all of us. If it doesn't, we'll move on. That's all we can do. But the reality is that now we can use technologies like this, is it starts to show new opportunities for thinking about things differently. What we also see with the scholarship candidates is that they are tremendously talented. They are going to go far wherever they choose to go in life. But they are showing a really powerful bridge between our two great nations of Spain and the UK. A bridge of talent, but also a bridge of expertise that can be used in all sorts of ways, the likes of which are difficult to imagine. So when you see the talent stepping forward, please think, where will they be in 10 years' time? Where will they be in 20 years' time? They are our future. We're going to need this talent, both for the crisis we're in today, both for the relationships between our two great countries going forward. And I'm really pleased that tonight, this is the first time we've ever had 10 awards given, such as the interest in our scheme. So the scheme has been running, as has been said, for 13 years now, but for it now to be in its 13th year and us to have 10 awardees, that is terrific. So everyone's a winner tonight, whether they're on Zoom or not, everyone's a winner. For those parents and families that are managing to join in, either online or in person here today, thank you for being with us. You've brought up some very talented students, very talented becarios, and you should be extremely proud. So without further ado, I wasn't going to dwell much further, but as I've been introduced as a housekeeper for the first time in my life, I ought to just cover a couple of housekeeping rules, if I may. The first rule you can probably tell is, I think whether you wear a mask at the podium is your choice. But I think please think about everybody else in the room when you're sitting down or in the event afterwards. So for the audience, the proceedings on Zoom, please follow on the screen as you wish, will be filmed, of course. And if we could keep the noise down apart from the clapping, mobile phones onto silent would be helpful, microphones on mute, and if you could switch off your video, that would be helpful just to avoid any interference. No one actually should step outside their group, so we're all in bubbles. Apparently I'm in bubble A with a few others. If you're in bubble B or C or whatever, please try and stay within your bubble. It doesn't mean you can't wave or speak to people on the other side of the room, but please keep that distancing and stay within your bubble. And lastly, for those who are stepping forward, if you use the microphone, if I can just ask you to be careful whether you use it. If you touch it, there is a little bit of a cleaner here underneath, and I might enforce the cleaning measure as a housekeeper that you clean it before or after its use. That's about all from me, the housekeeper. In my day job, I'm the Chief Scientific Advisor in the Department for International Trade. And I think if we didn't have events like this, frankly, trade would die. Some of the student relationships are often long-lasting, but they often morph into long-term trade. And I wasn't really going to say very much about EU transition, but I think at the end of the day, the more we talk about the possibilities of working together with this talent and between our great nations, the more we'll come out stronger when it comes to future trade and future cultural relationships. So without further ado, let me, beyond the thanks, just start to move on to the first award, if I may. As I say, there are 10 awards. We'll try and go through them briskly. For those who are in the room, I have certificates behind me. For those who are on Zoom, hopefully they'll have got their certificates in their own home, so to speak. Some of the sponsors have chosen not to speak. I'll introduce them by sponsorship name as well as the student that they're supporting. So the very first of the 10 awards has been sponsored by BBVA. I should have Anselmo Andrade, the UK country manager for BBVA, in the room. Are you here, Anselmo? If I don't see anybody stepping forward, then I'm going to move on and think about introducing the winner. So the winner should be virtually, in this particular case, I understand now, with Anselmo, and that should be Rocio Rodriguez with Anselmo Andrade of BBVA. Are you online, Anselmo?
Just a brief, a few words. I would like to thank the Spanish Embassy in this different format, digital format, and especially to the British Spanish Society to be part of this important event, actively part. No? We are, and I am very pleased to present BBA Award 2020 to Rocío Rodríguez Soler, a very talented student. After a deep analysis, as we know, we think Rocío was a perfect candidate to this award. There are three things for us really outstanding and important. There's the international background, Oxford, Argentina, Spain. Secondly, to be active member of research and international congress. And third is the cooperation project that she is active on this. No? That is always important and more now with all the COVID. And without any further comments, I would like to give the floor to Rocío and congratulate her. Rocío, the floor is yours. Thanks.
Hi.
Hi, Rocío. Welcome.
Hi. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for everything. First of all, I am very pleased to be with you today, at least virtually. I am a PhD student at the University of Almería, and my project focuses on the population of rural areas.
Rocío, Rocío, nice to see you.
Hi. Sorry, I got to start my speech. Sorry, technical problem. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I am very pleased to be with you today, at least virtually. I am a PhD student at the University of Almería, and my project focuses on the population of rural areas. Thanks to the British Spanish Society Award, I will be able to develop part of my project at the University of Oxford. As stated earlier now, inhabitants of rural areas are increasingly aging in numerous countries in Europe. This is the case of Spain and the United Kingdom. The aim of my research stay at the University of Oxford is twofold. On the one hand, I intend to produce a systematic review of all literature regarding population aging in rural areas, focused both in Spain and the UK. On the other hand, I intend to compare to what extent scientific research has been carried out about this topic in both countries. Furthermore, this specific project is thought as a first step for future research projects. I would like to finish this short speech by thanking the Board of Trustees of the British Spanish Society. Similarly, my deepest gratitude to my sponsor, BBVA, and to the Spanish ambassador, Mr. Carlos Bastarreche, for kindly opening the embassy for us today. Gracias.
Rocío, well done. Fantastic. And thank you for braving the technical issues at the beginning there. But can I just also add that when you arrive in Oxford, we want to see you again. So think about coming back to the Spanish embassy when you can perhaps meet us in person and we can share some of the experience you've had in your studies. We'd like to learn a lot more about this particular area, but thank you very much for joining, and well done for beating some of the others to be a prize winner tonight and to get the success you deserve. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So if we could move on to the second winner tonight, if that is okay. The sponsor for this is Quatre Casas, and we should have no speech perhaps tonight offered, but Ignacio Bull, the partner, has indicated he'd very much like to support this particular award, and the winner for this particular category is Polly Polak. Is Polly online, please?
Hello?
Polly,
you
we
see
can
me?
see
Can
you.
you
Thank
hear
you.
Can you hear me? No.
Very well, thank you.
Okay. So should I just go with my speech?
It would be great, thank you.
Okay, just a second. So I'm Polly Ruth Polak from the University of Salamanca in Spain, from where I am currently speaking due to travel restrictions, unfortunately not allowing me to be present at the ceremony. But I would, of course, like to thank Mr. Carlos Bastarreche, nonetheless, for being so kind as to hold this event at the Embassy in London, and also for offering the means to participate online. I will also take this opportunity to give thanks to the chairman of the British Spanish Society, as well as to the Board of Trustees. And of course, a massive thank you goes to Cuatregasas for supporting my project, which I will explain very briefly. Its aim is to help UK citizens in Spain and in other EU countries, and Spanish and other EU citizens in the UK come to terms with their new legal status under the withdrawal agreement that has resulted from the Brexit negotiations. I hope in this way to add my little grain of sand, as the Spanish would say, towards the commendable purpose of the society of safeguarding the special links between the UK and Spain, and especially in these most difficult times. So again, I'm very happy to receive the scholarship, and thank you.
Polly, thank you very much indeed. Clearly, dealing with the withdrawal agreement is a challenge in itself, but to study it as well, I think is quite a challenge. But I wish you well in your studies. Again, like previous winners, we'd very much like to hear how this progresses, and perhaps we could see you again at the Embassy on a future British Spanish Society occasion. Thank you very much for joining and for competing and doing so well with the award tonight. And particular thanks to Cuatregasas for their support for that award. The third winner is from DPS, or supported by DPS, and there is no speech from David Moore, the director of DPS, but we have a winner from called Mariana Garcia. And would you like to say a few words, Mariana, on Zoom?
Hello, can you hear me and see me okay?
We can, Mariana. Thank you.
Perfect. I'll do my speech in Spanish, if that's okay, because my parents are listening in. So, buenas noches a todos y gracias por la invitación a esta ceremonia. Estoy encantada de haber recibido uno de los premios de la British Spanish Society. Este premio contribuirá enormemente a mi tesis doctoral en la Universidad de Edimburgo, en la que investigo la ecología de plantas árticas bajo la influencia del cambio climático. Para empezar, me gustaría agradecer el trabajo en el proceso de selección del presidente de la BSS y de la Junta de Consejeros. También me gustaría dar mi más sincero agradecimiento a DPS por financiar mi beca. Y, por supuesto, gracias al embajador Carlos Bastarreche por acogernos en la embajada para este evento, tanto en persona como virtualmente. Aprecio todo el trabajo que estos premios han supuesto y también el compromiso de la BSS de apoyar a la siguiente generación de investigadores y de fortalecer los enlaces entre España y el Reino Unido, sobre todo en los tiempos actuales. Y finalmente, enhorabuena a todos mis compañeros becarios y muchas gracias de nuevo.
Thank you very much, Mariana. Well done. As you can probably tell, all of the great becarios are all bilingual and they're all doing some amazing work, and I hope we get to see some of Mariana's work as she progresses. The next winner is sponsored by Fundación Banco Sabadell, and there is no speech from the sponsor in this occasion, but it's supported by Victoria Garcia, responsible for Banco Sabadell. The winner for this particular one is Laura Peribananes. If I've mispronounced that, Laura, please excuse me. Would you like to say a few words, Laura? Ah, you're there. Sorry.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me and all of us to become part of the British Spanish Society family here today. I'm extremely grateful to the Board of Trustees, the Banc Sabadell Foundation for the award, and of course, very special thanks to the Ambassador, Mr. Carlos Bastarreche, for kindly hosting us here today. This award has made it possible for me to enroll at the Royal College of Music as an Antonio Brosso Scholar to pursue an artist diploma in cello performance, which is a perfect platform for launching new collaborations with inspiring British and UK-based Spanish musicians laying the foundations for ventures that will enrich the musical life of both countries and strengthen their partnership. Awards like this prove that effort always pays. Awards like this prove that effort always pays off and give us the strength to keep pushing our limits, setting new goals, and expanding our knowledge and experience so that in the future we are able to give back to society everything we've learned along the way. This year has been a great challenge for many, and everyone has had to adapt to a new normal. For me, the beginning of lockdown coincided with a hand injury that put me away from playing the cello for almost half a year. But I had the chance to reflect on what it means to be a musician and to start afresh with renewed energy and vigor. And so I'm really looking forward to many exciting projects ahead, and especially to sharing them with all of you. So thank you so much.
I have the great honour of giving a certificate in person, so this is analog rather than digital. Would you please accept this small certificate as a token of our thanks? Thank you very much.
And I'm, okay.
Yeah. We can have one step in, perfect. Oh, you can fill their mic. After this, then thank you. Okay, round of applause, everybody.
Thank you. And I do hope, of course, we're blessed, Laura, with some of your cello on a future occasion here in the embassy. Maybe that will be possible when this COVID activity is over and your studies are more advanced. But thank you for being such a graceful winner. Our next winner is sponsored by Fundación Canada Blanche, and we should have Juan Vina online via Zoom to represent the Fundación. Good evening. Juan Vina?
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As a chairman of the Board of Trustees of Fundación Cañada Blanca, and on behalf of the board, we are very pleased to be for the first time one of the principal supporters of the British Spanish Society scholarships. Our foundation has been an important player in the cultural relationship between UK and Spain for the last half century, because we create and donate one of the most prestigious Spanish schools outside our mainland, which is the Instituto Cañada Blanca, which is based in Notting Hill. And in the last 25 years, we have been the sponsor of the Centro Cañada Blanca at the London School of Economics, and also sponsor of the famous chair Princesa Asturias at the LSE. By the way, we are very pleased that we have a new director of the center and a new chairman of the Cátedra Princesa Asturias, which is Professor Andrés Rodríguez Pose, that I'm sure that he will work in the same direction as us to improve our cultural relationships, and I'm sure that he will be very pleased to know that we are a sponsor for the British Spanish Society Scholarship for the next 3 years. So we want to thank the British Spanish Society to accept us to be one of the principal supporters, and we're very pleased that this year winner, I think that you should introduce to this prize, if you know, Mike, or I say the number. Mike, do you say the name of the winner, or I say the name of the winner?
I'm happy to say the name of the winner.
Okay, but go ahead.
So the name of the winner is Gabriel Vivas Martinez, who should be online. And congratulations for being a successful winner, backed by your sponsor, Fundación Canada Blanche. Gabriel, are you online?
I am, yes. Hi.
Great to see you.
You too. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello from Croatia, where I'm working now on a project on body expression and social inclusion. And yeah, what a wonderful time I'm having here, listening to all of these inspiring speeches and listening to all of you. Thank you to Mr. Juan Vina. And I have this in here, which makes me so proud and happy. So thank you for sending it over. And yeah, I just wanted to accept this 2020 British Spanish Society Scholarship Award with deep gratitude. This will be fundamental for continuing my PhD studies at the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama of the University of London. As I was saying, this scholarship constitutes great support to continue with my practice research, implementing theatre workshops with young people both in the UK and in Spain. My project explores how arts in general and applied theatre in particular are relevant for challenging fierce individualism, competition, and gender inequalities in a time when, I believe, it is partnership, generosity, and care for each other that can foster a sense of belonging and a feeling of community, facing together the difficulties. I want to wholeheartedly thank the Fundación Cañada Blanc for believing in the power of using art-based work in challenging social contexts. Also, thank you to the Board of Trustees for your generosity and your belief in this project. Thank you to the Spanish Ambassador for welcoming us in the embassy, and to every one of you, both in the embassy and online, for just sharing this celebration moment with me. I would not like to forget to express my gratitude to my supervisors, Dr. Kat Lowe and Dr. Sylvan Baker, for being role models as practitioners, researchers, and human beings. Finally, thanks to my family, my partner, my friends, and my workshop participants for trusting in the magic of theatre making as a meeting place of imaginaries where we can dream a collective future with creative expression, tenderness, and generosity as its core values. Thank you all. Gracias.
Gabriel, thank you. That's also a lovely sentiment to actually hear you express the way you did it. And I think when you can convey more of your theatrical activity in the UK, please come back and share some of that with us at the Society when you can. Thank you very much.
I would love to. That will be a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
So moving on to the next candidate. This is sponsored and supported by Plastic Energy. And we should have Carlos Monreal, the CEO of Plastic Energy. Carlos, are you online?
Hello?
Carlos, is this Carlos Monreal? Thank you.
Yeah, Carlos Monreal, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Would you like to introduce your company and your winner?
Yes, as a technology company, I'm pleased to introduce a brilliant researcher, Guillermo Alvarez. Guillermo is a civil engineer with 2 masters that experience in a very important subject of the future and related to the hydrogen. We are all anxious to see the implementation of the Green Deal and the future-related investments, and hydrogen is going to play a very important role in this new future. However, hydrogen has some challenges that have to be addressed, and one of them is the specialty of Guillermo, that will try to reduce some negative premature failures in metallic materials. Guillermo, all the best to you, and congratulations.
Thank you, Carlos. Do we have Guillermo online?
Hello?
Guillermo Alvarez, welcome.
Yes. Thank you. Good evening.
Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. So, good evening. My name is Guillermo Alvarez Diaz, and as you know, I am one of the winners of the scholarship awarded by the British Spanish Society. First of all, I am sorry for not being able to attend the ceremony in person because of the pandemic. The aim of my project is to research the interaction between hydrogen and different structural steels due to a phenomenon named hydrogen embrittlement. The scholarship grant is going to be used to carry out a collaboration with Professor Emilio Martinez Pañeda, who is a lecturer in mechanics of materials at the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at Imperial College of London. We hope that our research will provide further insights in this field. I would like to express my gratitude to the British Spanish Society for granting me this award, to the Board of Trustees for their contribution towards the selection process, and similarly, I would like to thank Plastic Energy and the Spanish ambassador, Mr. Carlos Bastarreche, for the celebration of this event. Thank you very much for the certificate and the awards, and I hope you have a good evening.
Thank you, Guillermo. And hydrogen's a very important area for us to think about to make sure the planet has greener biofuels. So keep up the good work. I'm sure you're in good hands with Imperial College with some of the professors you referred to there. If we can now move on to the next winner, but well done, Guillermo. The next winner is sponsored by Santander Humanité. And we should have, we had support from Louise Farley, the relationship manager of Santander Universities. I don't think she's online, but we should have the winner. So can I just check, is either Louise Farley from Santander Universities or Jonathan Roach online for this particular award? Ah, Jonathan. Jonathan, would you like to step forward? I'm going to offer you the podium.
Oh yeah. It's weird being up here, seeing everyone so spread out. Clean my hands quickly. It's a real privilege and honour to be here to accept this award from the British Spanish Societies and Santander Universities. My research looks at a group of English Catholic spies operating in the late Elizabethan period, the late 16th century, who spied on England and smuggled intelligence out of the country and passed it on to Spain. And Spain used this intelligence in the course of their military operations against England, such as the infamous Armada of 1588 and other operations as well. So I'm in the final stages of my PhD at the University of Nottingham at the moment, and this award helps support me through this time as I prepare for my Viva and begin to turn the PhD project into publications. So I'd like to thank Santander Universities for sponsoring this award and giving me the do this work. I'd like to thank the board of the British Spanish Society. I'd like to thank the Spanish ambassador, Carlos Bastarreche, for hosting us today. Yeah, it's a real pleasure to be here. I suppose I should also take the opportunity to thank my family, my fiance, and everyone else who's read parts of my PhD over the years and made sure it makes sense, amongst other things. Thank you.
If we could give you a certificate, Jonathan, just as a small token of your presence here. And maybe the photographer would like to just... Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you very much for taking the time. And I think, Jonathan, we also would like to hear more as this PhD progresses about the results you're going to get. I'm sure they'll be stunning. I would have thought the subject you're covering would be a very good article for one of our La Revista, British Spanish Society magazine articles, if you'd be happy to do an extract, and maybe come back and tell us more about it when you can. But thank you for being with us tonight. We also have another awards supported by Santander Medicines, and this particular winner is present as well, I hope. We should have Alba Rodriguez Mera present here today. Alba, would you like to step forward? Thank you. Well done.
Thank you very much. My name is Alba Rodriguez Meira, and I'm currently finishing my PhD in the Department of Medicine at the University of Oxford. And I'd really like to start by thanking the Spanish ambassador, His Excellency Don Carlos Bastarreche, for welcoming all of us in his residency today, either here or virtually, especially under these current challenging times. I'd really like to show my appreciation and gratitude for the deep commitment of the Spanish Embassy to supporting scientific and cultural exchange. It is a real honor to be awarded today a British Spanish Society Scholarship, which for the past 12 years has brought together the academic communities in Spain and the UK. This is of course only possible thanks to the Board of Trustees. So thanks very much for selecting my application. And science has always flourished from collaborative links in between both countries, and the British Spanish Society is playing a key role in establishing bridges that make this collaboration possible. Lastly, I would of course like to thank Sandhurst University's Medicine for their commitment to support young scientists like me so we can keep on pushing the boundaries of technology and medicine. And in my particular case, this scholarship will enable me to use a new sequencing technology to understand a very specific type of aggressive leukemia, hoping to have a direct impact on novel treatments for these patients. Thank you very much.
There's a certificate here, so we'll be happy to receive that from us, and if the photo's there. Thank you. Well done. To be able to do a degree or a doctorate at Oxford is hard enough, but to do it in a second language and to do it in something as tough as leukemia-related studies is just truly remarkable. Please just give us an update, please, as your studies progress, and maybe come back and tell us more, will you? I think it's a fantastic attribute to what you're doing. Award number 9 is sponsored by Senior. I'm sorry if the pronunciation by me is wrong. We should have Antonio Pinedo, Gerente de Estrategia, Director of Strategy, online. Do we have Antonio Pinedo online? And the presentation is for somebody in the room who I'll invite in a minute.
Hi, do you listen to me?
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Great to see you.
Dear Ambassador Bastarreche, members of the Board of Trustees of the British Spanish Society, fellow principal supporters and attendees, I am Antonio Pinedo, the Strategy and Business Director in Signe Group from Spain. Signe is delighted to be one of the principal supporters of the British Spanish Society also. Signe would have loved to be physically present today, but obviously it was not possible. During these uncertain times, we are grateful for the enormous amount of work behind the scenes that the Spanish Embassy, the voluntary teams and the scholarship administration, communication, and above all the event team on the British Spanish Society to prepare this fantastic event. Signe is especially grateful to the British Spanish Society, Trustees Carmen Bureau and Scott Young for taking their time and energy to ensure Signe become a principal supporter of the British Spanish Society. Signe is a Spanish company that was founded in 1982 and is the main private company specializing in the printing security documents for government, official bodies, institutions, and other companies to protect against confederating and fraudulent modifications. Also, during the last 10 years, our organization has undergone to a great transformation, developing new solutions based in the latest digital technologies basis in digital signature, blockchain, biometric, crime, mobile identity solutions for organizations and entities, creating new companies, national and internationally, for providing these solutions. We are extremely pleased to give a scholarship to Afan Akwal, whose project is ideally placed to tackle and answer some of the key questions in the area of the Khalid Perovsky research. Khalid Perovsky are prime candidates for the next generation of photovoltaic technologies with the great leaps made in the last decade. Despite unprecedented improvements in device efficiencies, there is a lack of strong understanding on the fundamental physics of these unconventional materials. It will allow a strong understanding of the link between mechanical strength and optoelectrical properties and material stability will propel these materials into the commercial use. And also this will place a fund at the center of this collaboration and will serve an invaluable learning experience at the start of his PhD and research career. Furthermore, this project is ideally suited to bring together two powerhouses of academic research and will lead to further fruitful collaboration and further academic knowledge transfer between these two British and Spanish institutions. The candidates' home group in the UK, the optoelectronics groups in Cavendish Laboratory, University of Cambridge, and the Instituto de Ciencias Materiales de Madrid in Spain. Now I turn to our fellow Afan Iqbal for his speech and give us some words.
Antonio, thank you very much, but if Afan Iqbal's in the room, thank you.
Hello everyone. It is my great honor to accept the British Spanish Society Award today at the Spanish Embassy. This scholarship will allow me to be at the forefront of a research collaboration between the University of Cambridge and the Institute of Material Science in Madrid, where we hope to combine the research expertise of these two universities to improve the understanding of a new class of materials called halide perovskites. A better understanding of these materials will allow us to propel these materials into commercial and personal use, which will improve the energy landscape, which is a key interest of both these countries. This scholarship would not be possible without a number of people who I would like to thank. Firstly, I would like to thank my PhD supervisors, Dr. Samuel Stranks and Dr. Miguel Anaya from the University of Cambridge. Secondly, I would like to thank Dr. Andres Castellanos from the Institute of Material Science in Madrid. I would also like to thank Signe for funding the scholarship, and my deepest appreciation for the Board of Trustees of the British Spanish Society for doing irreplaceable work in building bridges between our two great nations. My gratitude also to Mr. Carlos Basterreche for hosting this ceremony at the Spanish Embassy on this lovely day. Finally, my gratitude to my friends and family for their unwavering support. Thank you.
The specialist materials that you're looking at, yes. Can you describe some of the applications, just briefly, for the audience that may not have caught the acronym or the term used? Sure.
So the class of materials that I work on are called halide perovskites, and these are energy materials which have, actually they were discovered for these applications in Oxford about 10 years ago, and the last 10 years our understanding of the physics and chemistry of the materials has improved a lot, and so we are able to improve the efficiencies to combat silicon, for example. But the stability of these materials isn't great, and the research collaboration that we want to build here hopes to combine the expertise of optical studies of these materials from the University of Cambridge and the expertise of the Institute of Material Science in Madrid, where they have a expertise in modulation of strain of 2D materials. So combination of these will allow us to make these materials more stable and more long-lasting.
And what do you think will be the primary applications when those studies are more advanced?
So we hope that these will lead to better stable photodetectors, LED applications, and photovoltaics.
So very important for the future of telecommunications, which we are relying on tonight to make this event work. Thank you very much for being so open with us. Thank you. And finally, we have the 10th and last award. This is sponsored by Telefonica, my old firm, and we're very pleased to have Pilar Vico from Telefonica Investor Relations. Would you be happy to step forward and just say a few words about Telefonica and introduce your winner?
Well, first of all, thank you everybody for making this possible. Thank you, Mr. Carlos Bastarreche, and thank you to the BSS for making this possible, because given this time has not been easy. We are delighted to be sponsoring these awards, which we consider there is a great initiative, and we expect just to keep doing this. It's great to see how is the talent here, how is like the enthusiasm about the projects and everything. So we would like to say big congrats to Blanca Rivera, and just to give her the enhorabuena, because it has been a really, really good project.
Blanca, are you online?
Hello?
Hello. We can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Hello everyone, thank you for the introduction. Greetings from the Netherlands. My name is Blanca, I am healthcare designer. I have recently graduated from the Embrace Healthcare and Design at the Royal College of Art and Imperial College London. I have been awarded by the British Spanish Society for my project Dedalix. Dedalix is a surgical motor skill simulator that allows medical students to train remotely from expert surgeons worldwide. The project aims to democratize training opportunities outside the operating room so as not to endanger the patient health, as well as to disseminate new devices and surgical techniques. I would like to thank the British Spanish Society for encouraging international students to continue working in our dreams or passions through this scholarship. I would also like to thank the chairman and the trustees of the British Spanish Society for their involvement in the selection process, to the ambassador, Mr. Carlos Bastarreche, for hosting the event despite the difficulties, and last but not least, to Telefonica, the sponsor of my project, that will allow me to continue developing the idea. It was a pleasure to share my project with all of you and participate in the scholarship program. Congratulations also to the rest of the winners. Thank you very much. Take care.
And Blanca, I hope we get to see you again, maybe in London, as your studies progress. Thank you very much. Keep in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to you as well, Pilar. So that brings us to the close of the formal awards, and I hope you would agree that all the entries are really stunning in terms of the things that they're doing. This is the cream of the crop. We had a huge, huge entry this year, and some of them were very difficult to choose from that great list that we had. A particular thanks to the support to all the judges who spent a lot of time assessing these independently, to the Society of Spanish Researchers who've helped in this area as well, and all the administration that went behind this. So thank you very much to everybody there. It's true we couldn't all be here, all the BSS trustees tonight, but many of them are online. So our chairman, Jimmy Burns, sends his regards. He should be online somewhere in the ether. Some of the other trustees should be also following the proceedings. But our intention is to keep the awards going, 13 years strong, many strong candidates obviously today, but actually, that's our intention. But we're only as good as the sponsors' support, so thank you for all the sponsors that have supported this. Thank you also to some of the academics who are behind the scenes as well, who are encouraging some of these bilingual, fantastic students to apply. It will be sorry to see you retire, Ambassador. I was hoping that there might be some sort of high note that we could send out, but I think we've done our best with the 10 entries today. You've given fantastic support to the awards for all the time you've been here. I think we should wish you well in your retirement. Thank you again for all your team that have been supportive for tonight's event as well. I can't think that I've missed anybody, but I'm sorry if I've not mentioned everybody I should have mentioned. but I think we should enjoy the small hospitality that's been provided for by the BSS and the Spanish Embassy at the back of the room. Please, keeping to your social distancing. Maybe I could give you a little challenge while you're in there. Try and pick out the best mask of the evening as a little prize winner for later on. Can I hand back the floor to you, Ambassador?
Yes,
Thank you.
Well, against all expectation, it has been, like the French said, sans faute, because I think everybody that was meant to speak did it. So congratulations, the team, thank you very much indeed, and all of them that have participated. And I don't know if you have realized that well, I was shocked by several things. For instance, the contrast of Carlos Monreal, the manager of DPS, with the factory there, and here the tapestries of Goya, and the fact that we are having Gabriel from Croatia, Maria from Netherlands, many from. So that's the new world. So we are making history. Thanks to a very bad coincidence with this COVID, but I think British Spanish Society and the Embassy, we are showing the way to adapt to circumstances. So thank you very much to everybody. And Mike, I'm sorry, it's the first time in your life you are called a housekeeper, but now you have a PhD cum laude in housekeeper, so you can add to your many titles. And I can tell you that with 70 years old, maybe housekeeping is more important than the other PhDs. So I think it's a very good investment for the future. And now with that, and there are another thing that I want to say, because you have said very, very rightly, we have already some missions for the future. One of them is to hear from Laura and the cello that we couldn't do it today because it was a little bit odd, and there are all the awardees that could not come, that of course they are invited here. And by the way, I have a special wish for Jonathan, for your book. You have been invited by, I hope there is a chapter how my predecessor at that time performed as a spy. So maybe I could learn or my predecessor could learn from the past. So with this, let's say, positive thinking, let's go on now to our bubbles, respective bubbles, to enjoy the British Spanish Society and Embassy tapas. Right.
Would the winners who are in the room just step forwards, because we'd like to just take a quick picture of all the winners together while they're in the room. But please, others, enjoy with distancing the hospitality at the back of the room.